Was riding high on Friday after a federal appeals court reinstated the government's antitrust settlement over software discounting. The settlement rejected federal judge Stanley Sporkin, who said that he lacked information to determine if it was in the public interest. But now the appeals court says that the settlement was in the public interest, and it sent it back to a U.S. district court where it'll be reassigned for final disposition. And joining us now with his take on this situation is Michael Popow. He is a software analyst with Oppenheimer.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mike. Do you think that Microsoft's worst legal problems are over now?
I believe that they are. However, there's one more hurdle that Microsoft, near term, that Microsoft needs to overcome right now.
What's that?
The Justice Department is now looking into the government's, Microsoft's plans to bundle its online network with Windows 95. And that's really the most important issue facing Microsoft right now. However, I do not believe that the government has a strong enough case to prevent it from doing that.
Competitors are screaming foul, saying that Microsoft has unfair advantage. You don't think that that's the case?
Microsoft has an advantage, but not an unfair advantage at this point, at least legally speaking, right now.
All right, we'll see how that whole thing is going to take out. Let's talk a little bit about Windows 95. A lot of people are saying that this Windows 95's software system is the most important product introduction, very important for Microsoft stock. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. It
Why?
is the number one factor that's going to drive earnings for Microsoft in 1996, and it's also the number one catalyst for the entire computer industry for 1995 and 1996. It's going to be released in September. And there's huge.
I thought it was supposed to be August.
I'm sorry, August 24th.
Okay.
So close enough.
Well, that's the other question. Is it going to launch out on time?
I believe it will. All indications are. I've been talking to the company and beta users, and everything looks like it's on go.
The other question is that once it's launched, is it going to work?
I think it will.
There are not going to be bugs in the system.
There always are bugs in the system, but this is one of the cleanest software releases I've ever seen.
You mentioned that it would be, when Windows 95 does come out, that it's going to be a benefit to many of the technology stocks. I mean, that is the other view. It could drive the whole technology sector.
Exactly.
What might not work in that direction? What might go wrong that wouldn't be the case?
Well, for one thing, consumers may not buy the product. However, I think that is highly, highly unlikely. There's great pent-up demand for that right now in both the corporate sector and the home market right now. I don't think anything's going to go wrong with this release right now. There's one controversial issue right now. Microsoft has two operating systems, Windows NT and Windows 95, and there's a bit of confusion about which one to buy. Some corporate customers are saying that, you know, Windows NT is really the operating system we ought to buy because that is the operating system that Microsoft is going to go forward with, not Windows 95. My argument is either way, Microsoft gets revenue for it. They have two very good operating systems, differently positioned, but one of the two operating systems is what everybody's going to be buying next year. Microsoft
stock, it's at 87 now. It's been just rising all year long. Do you still see room in there?
Absolutely.
You're recommending the stock, I understand.
I'm recommending the stock. I've got a price target of around $100 by the end of the year.
$100?
The reason for that is that I believe that most of Wall Street is underestimating earnings.
Well, it's selling already at 36 times earnings. A lot of investors are
consensus estimates.
All right, and are pulling away saying this is too pricey. It's already, you've seen the best of what Microsoft is going to be. You're saying it's not too late.
I'm saying it is definitely not too late. It does seem pricey if you believe that consensus estimates are correct. I however, believe that consensus estimates are incorrect. I believe that everybody's underestimating earnings for next year. They're going to be a lot stronger than people realize.
All right. Well, thank you very much. We
My
appreciate
pleasure.
you coming in. We've been speaking with Michael Popow. He's a software analyst with Oppenheimer. And coming up next on Today's Business, if you're looking to put your house on the market, we're going to tell you about some finishing touches that can make for a fast sell. Plus, it's a blast from the past remembered and celebrated by a convention of jerks. We're going to have that story. It's 27 and a half past the hour. This is Today's Business on CNBC.